Hey guys, this is Shara of YellowYum, and here with me is my little girl, Robin. Hi! This is gonna be my baby update. I promised you this a while back, but I just wasn't able to do it, so I'm so sorry. She will be turning 9 months this coming November 19, so I figured why not finally start this video. So let's start with a couple of things. I already listed down some of the things that I wanted to talk about. So let's start with the first to third month update. So let's start with sleeping. I remember reading about the first 3 months of a baby's life. They said that you should actually consider it as another trimester or the last trimester of your pregnancy, just because they are not really that active yet and they're not very interactive yet. And that's true. I remember she was sleeping most of the time, and when she's awake she would just need to eat or feed, and that's kind of her life for the first 3 months, especially for the first 2 months. I was fortunate enough to have help for the first 2 months of her life. I'd say that it was a big help because I delivered by a C-section, and the first month I wasn't really that mobile, and I just had to have my naps. I just had to have my naps during the day because we would wake up in the middle of the night to tend to her needs. So that's it. So she would be sleeping most of the day, and she'd just wake up for after 2 to 3 hours to nurse and then kind of go back to sleep again. When the second month came, that's kind of the time when her sleeping habits began to become more regular. Around 1 a.m. is when she's finally asleep, and she would sleep for a longer period of time. She'd wake up around 7. Then after nursing her, I'll just put her back to bed and she'll wake up 2 hours after that to nurse again. So that's kind of how it was during the first 3 months of her life. Now for feeding, Robin is breastfed exclusively, meaning I did not give her any formula. It's just breast milk. So for feeding, like what I said, it's every 2 to 3 hours I would nurse her. And breastfeeding wasn't that easy at first. I'd say that it was a challenge, and I'm so happy that I did not stop, and I just continued and pursued breastfeeding because honestly I see all the benefits of breastfeeding, especially now that she's growing, and yeah, it's just the best for your baby. Now changing, we are using cloth diapers, not exclusively though. When we go out or when we travel, we would use disposable diapers. I'm sorry, the lighting is kind of off. It's very sunny outside. Anyways, going back to the topic. We use cloth diapers at home though. So during the first 3 months, actually the first month was very challenging because we encountered rashes, and it became really bad that Robin had Jacquet's dermatitis. You can probably just Google that to know more about it. But basically, her butt was full of wounds because of the rashes, and it was very painful for her. Every time we would change her, she would cry because I guess it's really painful, and especially when we started putting some ointments on her. So yeah, we went to see a pediaderma who's a dermatologist for your babies, and that's the only time that she got a little better. So we use we use a lot of different products to see what works for her until we found what works for her. I guess every baby is different. I read that this certain brand is good, but when we tried it on her, it didn't really work. So you have to really try and test out different things and see what works for your baby. So in terms of changing, for the first 3 months, especially when she still had those wounds, we would change her every 2 hours. So since she was nursing almost every 2 hours, before nursing her or before breastfeeding, we would change her first and then she'd nurse. So that kind of was our routine in terms of changing her diapers. And even though she did not poo, she's just a little wet, we would still change her just because I was really afraid of the rashes and I just didn't want the wounds to become worse because they were really bad already. Milestones. Not much actually. So for the first month, there wasn't really much milestones. The second month, she started smiling. And I remember it was also the second month when I started wearing her or doing baby wearing using my ring sling, and I also started introducing the bottle to her. I started pumping during the second month, and then I just give her the bottle just to introduce it to her. And then during the third month, that's the time she started to flip. She would flip from when she's lying down, she would flip over, and that's about it. She couldn't really go back, but that was really fun. In terms of weight and height, she continued to grow height-wise, and she was weighing more every time that we would go to the doctor. So that was really great. We went to the doctor for her vaccinations every month since I gave birth. So every month she has 1 vaccination or 2. So that was it. So every time we would go to the doctor, she would get measured, and every time she would gain weight and she was taller. So that's a good thing. So I guess that's it for the first 3 months of her life. She's right there, she's playing. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing another video for the 4th to 6th month and then 6th to 9th month update. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more, you can go to YellowYum.com. Don't forget to like my Facebook page and follow me on Twitter and subscribe for more videos. Bye!